Hello, listeners! Welcome to our channel, Learn English with Podcast. Learning English while traveling isn't just a skill, it's a game changer. Imagine exploring new countries, connecting with people from all walks of life, and diving into cultures like never before, all because you can communicate confidently in English. In this episode, I'll show you how learning English on the go transforms ordinary trips into unforgettable adventures. Whether it's mastering essential phrases, navigating foreign streets, or forming bonds that cross language barriers, this journey is about more than travel. It's about discovering the world and yourself. Ready to unlock a world of possibilities? Let's dive in! But before we dive into today's topic, let's quickly introduce today's guests, Alan and Alice. They are here to help us learn English while traveling. Let's get started.
Have you ever been to a place where you couldn't understand a word? It can feel like you re-stuck in a foreign world, right?
Exactly, Alan. But what if I told you that learning English could completely change your travel experience? Suddenly, the world isn't so big and intimidating anymore.
That's the magic of English. It's not just a language, it's a ticket to exploring new cultures, making friends, and even discovering job opportunities across the globe.
And today, we're diving into why learning English isn't just a necessity, but a game changer for any traveler. From basic phrases to life-changing adventures, we'll show you how English can unlock doors to endless possibilities.
So, whether you're replanning your next vacation or thinking about traveling long-term, stay tuned. We're about to show you how English can turn your travel dreams into reality.
Let's get started. Because the world is waiting, and English is the key to exploring it like never before.
All right, Alice, let's be real. You've traveled to some incredible places, right? But what made those trips unforgettable?
Oh, for sure. It wasn't just the sights, Alan. It was the people I met and the conversations I had. That's where English comes in. It's the bridge to connect with locals, whether you're in Paris or Tokyo.
Exactly. English opens up so many doors. Want to learn about hidden gems in a city? English helps you ask the locals for their secret spots. Need directions? English makes it easy to get where you want to go.
And don't forget about the social side. Imagine meeting someone on a train in Italy and instantly being able to chat about your favorite hobbies. English makes that happen.
It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. When you speak English, you can dive deep into different cultures, make new friends, and even find work opportunities abroad.
Totally. English gives you access to a whole new world. You're no longer just a tourist, you're part of the community. And trust me, that's a game changer.
It's the key to navigating unfamiliar places with confidence. Want to understand a culture on a deeper level? Learn English. Want to open up new travel opportunities? Learn English.
The bottom line is, English is more than just words. It's your passport to adventure. And the best part? It's never been easier to start learning.
All right, Alice, we all know the classic tourist experience. Snap a few photos, visit the main attractions, and then back to the hotel. But what if I told you there's a way to skip the tourist trap and really live like a local?
Now we're talking, Alan. And you know what? It all starts with learning the language. Not just the basics, but actually using English to connect with the people around you.
Exactly. It's the difference between seeing the sights and feeling the place. When you learn key phrases, simple greetings, how to order food, ask for directions, you break down those barriers and start connecting with locals in a way most tourists never do.
Think about it. How many times have you heard a local say, "Wow, you speak English so well"? It's like an instant ticket to friendship, and the best part is you're not just talking to your guidebook anymore, you're talking to real people.
Right? And don't just stop there. I'm talking about conversation. Ask locals about their favorite spots, hidden gems, or even their daily routine. You'd be amazed at how much you can learn just by saying, "Hey, what's your favorite thing to do around here?"
And trust me, they love it. When you make the effort to speak in their language, whether it's English or just trying a few words in the local dialect, it's a sign of respect, and people are way more willing to open up when you show interest.
Now, Alice, what if you're worried about not knowing enough English yet? Don't sweat it. A little goes a long way. Even basic phrases can spark a real conversation. And remember, making mistakes is all part of the process.
Absolutely. You've got to get out of your comfort zone. And here's the thing, by practicing English with locals, you're learning on the go. You're not memorizing lists of vocabulary. You're picking up words in context. That's powerful.
And you know what? You don't even have to be face-to-face for all of it. Apps like Duolingo or Babbel let you learn anytime, anywhere, while you're waiting for your train or relaxing in a cafe. They help you practice pronunciation and even track your progress.
Yes, and these apps aren't just for beginners. They can help you polish your language skills and build confidence so you can have real conversations in English, no matter where you are in the world.
And don't forget to use your surroundings to practice. See a menu in English? Read it out loud. Hear someone on the street talking in English? Try to catch a few words. Every moment is an opportunity to learn.
Absolutely. It's all about immersion. The more you engage with English in real-world situations, the faster you'll pick it up. And that's how you go from being a tourist to feeling like you belong.
You start thinking in English. You stop translating everything in your head and just go with it. And that's when the magic happens. You're not just visiting a place anymore, you're living it.
Exactly. So next time you travel, don't just stick to the tourist path. Dive in, engage with the language, and experience the culture like you've never done before. Because the world isn't just a place to visit, it's a place to live.
And the key to all of that? English. The more you learn, the more you own your travels. Okay, Alice, picture this. You in a completely new country, you surrounded by unfamiliar faces, and you need to ask for help. What's the number one thing that holds most people back from speaking up?
Oh, easy. It's the fear of making mistakes. People worry about saying the wrong thing and looking foolish. But guess what? The only way to get better is to jump in and talk.
Exactly. You know, most people are more understanding than you think. In fact, they'll probably appreciate that you're trying to communicate in English more than anything else.
Right? It's not about being perfect, it's about being real. And when you embrace that mindset, you start navigating the world with so much more confidence. Every time you speak, you're improving, even if you mess up a little.
Totally. So let's talk about how to conquer that fear. First things first, take a deep breath and remind yourself that mistakes are part of the learning process.
And don't stress over grammar. Honestly, locals care way more about what you're saying than how you say it. So focus on getting your message across. Keep it simple and you'll still get your point across.
Exactly. A simple, "Where's the nearest train station?" Or "Could you recommend a good restaurant?" will get you far. And the more you ask, the more confident you'll feel.
Right? And here's the secret. The more you talk, the less you fear it. It's like muscle memory for your brain. The more you practice, the less those nerves will take over.
True. And here's a pro tip. Don't just ask for directions or help. Ask open-ended questions. What do you love about this city? Or what's your favorite thing to do here? People love to share their local tips, and it helps you practice while also making a genuine connection.
Love that. It's not just about getting info, it's about building relationships. And that's what really makes your travel experience memorable. Plus, it boosts your confidence because you're re-engaging with the culture, not just the language.
Now, here's a trick I use. When you're in a situation where you might be lost or confused, ask the person if they speak English first. Something like, "Excuse me, do you speak English?" That way, you get an easy way in and avoid embarrassing yourself.
Yes, that's a great way to ease into it. And remember, even if someone doesn't speak English perfectly, you're both trying. Communication is a two-way street. Be patient, and they'll appreciate your effort.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes when I feel nervous, I remind myself, everyone starts somewhere. Even the locals were once in your shoes, learning to speak their own language. So don't be shy. Dive into the conversation and learn as you go.
Yes, and here's a final point. The more you embrace those moments of uncertainty, the more your confidence grows. You might not speak perfectly at first, but you'll speak more naturally as you keep practicing.
And before you know it, you'll be chatting with locals like it's no big deal. You'll have the confidence to explore any city, talk to anyone, and immerse yourself fully in the experience.
Exactly. So next time you re-traveling, remember, don't let fear hold you back. Embrace every opportunity to practice, and watch your confidence soar.
Because at the end of the day, the world is a much smaller place when you speak the language of connection, English. Alright, Alice, let's take this to the next level. We've talked about how learning English can change the way you travel, but what about real stories? You know, actual people who've used English to turn their travels into epic adventures.
Oh, I love this. One of my favorite stories is about a traveler named Emma. She was in Thailand, barely spoke any Thai, and was honestly a bit nervous about getting lost in the language. But guess what? She jumped right into using English with the locals, asking for directions, recommendations, and even chatting with street vendors.
That's amazing. I bet she learned a ton just by doing it.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. She met some locals who didn't speak much English, but they bonded over the language they shared. They taught her a few words in Thai, and she taught them English in return. They ended up becoming friends and even exploring some hidden spots together.
That's a perfect example of how learning English can open up more than just doors. It can open up relationships and connections. She wasn't just a tourist, she was part of the community.
And let's not forget about Daniel, who traveled solo to Spain. He was terrified of speaking English with the locals because of his accent, but he pushed through. He started small, ordering food, asking for directions. Over time, he gained confidence, and one day, a local invited him to a family dinner because they loved how much he was trying to engage.
That's incredible. So, Daniel wasn't just traveling in Spain, he was living it. And that's the beauty of speaking the language. You go beyond the surface level and connect on a deeper, more meaningful level.
Absolutely. And the best part is, learning English can lead to some seriously inspiring experiences. Like the time I met Alex, who was backpacking through Europe and had never spoken a word of English before. Fast forward to a few months later. He's having full conversations with strangers in English, getting work offers, and even helping other travelers with tips.
See? That's proof right there. English doesn't just help you get around, it can help you thrive. It's not just about knowing a few phrases, it's about the whole experience. The relationships, the opportunities, and the confidence to go further than you ever thought possible.
Totally. And these stories are all around us. Travelers using English to open doors, make connections, and even change their entire journey. I mean, who would have thought that a simple language could unlock so much potential?
It's not just a tool, Alice, it's a superpower. English is what helps you become more than just a tourist. You become part of the global conversation. Whether you're sharing a story in a hostel in Amsterdam or bonding with locals in a bustling market in India, English is the key to unforgettable experiences.
And the best part? You don't need to be fluent to start. Just dive in, make mistakes, and let those real-life adventures come to you.
Exactly. So, to anyone listening right now, get inspired. Start using English today, because your next adventure might be waiting for you just around the corner. Alright, Alice, we've talked about the big picture, how learning English can change your travel game, but now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What are some practical tips travelers can use to improve their English while on the road?
I love this part. First off, start small. Don't pressure yourself to have deep conversations right away. Begin with basic phrases. Things like, how much is this? Or where is the nearest bus stop?
Exactly. You don't have to be a pro to start practicing. And here's the secret. Use every situation as an opportunity to learn. Ordering food? Practice. Asking for directions? Practice. You're not just speaking English, you're living it.
I love that. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Seriously, no one's going to judge you for stumbling over a few words. In fact, locals usually love seeing a tourist try to speak their language. They'll appreciate the effort, even if you mix up your words.
That's the key. And next tip, listen. Pay attention to how people talk around you. Listen to the rhythm, the common phrases, the slang. It's like a mini English class right on the streets.
Yes. And let's talk about apps. Language learning apps are a game changer. I'm talking about things like Duolingo, Babbel, or HelloTalk. These apps let you practice on the go. And they're perfect for those moments when you're waiting for your bus or chilling in a cafe.
Apps are fantastic, but here's a tip. Don't just use them passively. Engage with them. Try speaking aloud, use the voice recognition features, and challenge yourself to use what you've learned in real conversations.
Totally. And another one, find a language partner. Whether it's a fellow traveler or a local, practicing with someone else is huge. You'll get instant feedback and build your confidence.
Exactly. And here's a final tip. Immerse yourself in English as much as possible. Watch local news in English, listen to English podcasts, or even watch movies with English subtitles. The more you expose yourself to the language, the more natural it'll feel.
It's all about consistency. The more you practice, the easier it gets. And before you know it, you'll be speaking English like a pro while exploring the world.
So, to sum it up, start small, embrace mistakes, use apps, find a partner, and immerse yourself in the language. Get out there and make English part of your daily travel experience.
That's right. The world is waiting, and English is your ticket to explore it fully. So let's get to it.
All right, Alice, we've covered a lot today, from why learning English can totally transform your travel adventures to real-life stories and practical tips. But before we wrap up, let's hit home one last time. Why should everyone take the leap and start learning English for their travels?
Because, Alan, English isn't just a language, it's a passport. It opens doors to new cultures, new friendships, and a whole new world of experiences. Imagine connecting with people from all over the globe, exploring hidden gems, and feeling confident wherever you go.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Learning English while traveling is an adventure in itself. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every word you learn, every conversation you have adds to your journey.
That's right. So, no matter where you are in the world, whether you're ordering a coffee in Paris or hiking up a mountain in New Zealand, English is your bridge. It connects you to the world in a way that nothing else can.
And it's not just for the experts. You don't have to be fluent. Start with small steps. Those little victories will build your confidence and make every moment of your travels richer.
So, our challenge to you is simple. Start now. Download an app, learn a phrase, talk to a local. The adventure is waiting, and English is your key to unlocking it.
Exactly. Don't let language barriers hold you back. Embrace the journey, embrace the language, and watch your travel experiences soar.
Let English be your guide. The world is yours to explore, and now you've got the tools to make it happen.
So, what are you waiting for? Let the adventure begin. So, there you have it. Learning English isn't just about words, it's about unlocking a world of endless possibilities.
Exactly. Every phrase you learn, every conversation you have, brings you closer to experiencing the world in a whole new way.
Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start today, and let English be the bridge to your next adventure.
The world is waiting and English is the key. Let's make those travel dreams a reality.
Time to take the first step. Ready to dive in?
Let's go.
Thank you for watching. Your journey to better English and unstoppable confidence starts here. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep growing together. See you in the next video, champion.